You guys are amazing. Yesterday I told y'all about the podcast that me and my homies put together, 4 of us, talking basketball, no professional experience, no insiders, no nothing. I told y'all about it. I said go download it, go listen, just do me a favor, give it a chance. A couple hours after I dropped that video, I'm looking at the podcasting app. We are number 3 in the world amongst sports podcasts. Number 3 in the world? That's over Woj's podcast, just to give y'all some reference. Over Jalen Rose's podcast, over Bill Simmons' podcast. We were the number 3. Now we're number 6, which is still amazing in the world. Yo, that lets you know that you guys are just so amazing. If you missed yesterday's video, so you don't know what I'm talking about, in the description, there'll be a link to our podcast where we sit behind me and we talk basketball. We just hit top 5 in the world talking basketball at the end of the offseason where not a lot of stuff is going on. So go over, subscribe. If you haven't already, go listen, because once the season starts, y'all think we started off great? You ain't saying nothing yet. So thank y'all. Let's get into this video. Today we're doing NBA Dinner now. I mean, it's fairly simple. You know what? Instead of me just telling you what it's about, let's do the first one together. Dinner now. The Bulls Derrick Rose or the Knicks Derrick Rose. So basically what we got to do, we're going to see pictures of the same player a couple years ago compared to now. And we got to figure out of these two players, which one would you rather have on your team? This is an easy one. Obviously, we want the Bulls Derrick Rose. We talk about 2011, youngest MVP ever on our team. Over the Knicks, Derrick Rose, which was okay. He averaged 18 points per game last season. Amazing bounce back, D-Rose. Do your thing in Cleveland, my boy. You know he's right here above my head. I mean, a fan forever. But obviously, I'm going to pick the younger Derrick Rose, the explosive Derrick Rose, the guy who was the top 3 point guard in the league in 2011. And now, no, he's not that anymore. He's evolved to a place where he doesn't have to rely on his athleticism as much. But yo, 2011 Derrick Rose was impossible to guard. For y'all that were probably too young to understand it, go just look up some clips. Basically, what you see Russell Westbrook right now, his explosiveness, that was Derrick Rose. Oh yeah, that was D Rose. That explosiveness, that bounce, D Rose is the man. Led us to an Eastern Conference Finals as a young superstar. If it wasn't for him being on the court with 1 minute left in the playoff game, when we were already up by 10, he will maybe still be MVP caliber. But it is what it is, man. I wish you the best in Cleveland. But if I had to pick between then Derrick Rose and now Derrick Rose, we picking a then. Let's move on to the next one. Knicks Melo or Hoodie Melo? Easily. Hoodie Melo is probably the best basketball player of all time. Hoodie Melo, gang sign John Wall, mass Kobe Bryant, mass LeBron. Those are 4 of the best players to ever pick up a basketball. Easily. So if I had to pick between the two, we're picking Hoodie Melo. Y'all know how the NBA is developing sleeves into their jerseys and stuff like that. If New York can figure out a way how to put a hoodie on that jersey, it's a GG. New York Knicks fans finally get that ring after, man, like 50 years? 71, 72? Yo, 40 years? 40 years? But just add a hood to Melo, that team goes from a bottom 5 team in the East to a top team in the league. Because that's how good Hoodie Melo is. Like, a lot of people are saying, whoa, Melo still has some left in the tank. You didn't know this? You had to wait to see him playing in the offseason to know that Melo is still the man? Yo, people that thinking he's washed, tripping. Hello? Yes, hi. Then or now, James Harden when he was on the Thunder, or now on the Rockets? Come on, easily we got to pick the Rockets. The Thunder one, he was no slouch either, 6th man of the year, right? But at that time, they didn't know, nobody knew that he would blossom into what he is now. You feel me? Nobody thought that this 6th man of the year candidate or winner was going to blossom into an MVP candidate. Even Sam Presti, the owner of the OKC Thunder, didn't know this. Oh yeah, they traded him. Don't forget about how bad that trade was. So the reason they traded him is because they didn't want to, when he was done with that rookie contract, they didn't want to pay him big bucks. Obviously, James Harden knew that he can be something great. But Sam Presti was like, nah, we not, money-wise, you're cool. We're good. So we're going to trade you to Houston for Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb. It was a bad trade. Nobody really talks about that. It was a bad trade. Now, Sam Presti has made up for picking up Paul George. You know, he's done some great things since then. But back then, we were like, whoa. Well, at the moment, at the moment, we were like, wow, what a good trade for OKC. Now we're like, whoa, what could have been? That's like one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history. James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook. These are three people that, well, KD has an MVP, Russell Westbrook has an MVP, and James Harden was just the runner-up for MVP 2 years in a row, right? I mean, like, this could have been the greatest team of all time. They got to a championship. They were all super, super young, but they blew it up before we got to see how great these three players can be. So we gotta take the now. So Rockets James Harden, MVP James Harden, possible MVP candidate James Harden, because he didn't win. We picking you. Kevin Love, Timberwolves or the Cavs? Then or now? We're gonna pick the Timberwolves one. Now, when he was on the Timberwolves, he was having those games where he's putting up 30 and 30 occasionally. 30 and 30 games. Yeah, he was doing that to him. Now, in the Cavs, they made him more into that Chris Bosh role where he's kind of spotting up. He's not doing back to basket pretty much at all. Okay, you rarely see Kevin Love down banging with the bigs anymore. But when he was in Minnesota, the dude was amazing. I mean, he still is good now. But that could be accredited to when he was in Minnesota, his teams were trash. And because of that, he had no choice but to be dropping these 30-30 games, or his team was only scoring 15 points. You feel me? So I'm going to pick the then, but it's very, very light because both were pretty good. Wesley Matthews, welcome, my boy. I think this is the first time we've ever mentioned the name Wesley Matthews on this channel. So welcome to the channel, Wesley. Then or now, Trailblazers or Mavericks? I'm going to pick the then. Wesley Matthews was a great 3-and-D guy. Him and Nicholas Batum, both of them were 3-and-D guys back there. And the reason that Dallas picked him up, they gave him that contract, is because of what he did in Portland. Now in Dallas, he's been suffering with injuries and stuff. So I'm going to pick the safe route and go with then Wesley Matthews, because I guarantee you he's going to play. No injuries really involved. So we're going to pick the then. Then or now, Yusuf Nurkic. Okay, that's a really good one. So Denver Nuggets or Trailblazers. So obviously he was a part of the Denver Nuggets. They traded him for the Plumlee brother. And well, he actually was pretty successful in Portland. Now, one of the reasons he wasn't successful in Denver is because, well, defensively he's not all there. And because he didn't really get along with Coach Malone. Come on, man. Your boy's lyrical accidentally. Anyway, but now they trade him into a different system and he blossomed. He helped this Portland Trailblazer team hit the next level. So it's really dope. Because of that, I'm going to pick the Portland Trailblazer one. It's going to be very, very interesting to see this next offseason because they're going to have to pay him. He's going to be done with that contract. Obviously, he's their starting center, but is he the center of the future? Are you going to pay him like the center of the future, or are you going to pay him like a normal starter? I don't really know, man. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it's going to be interesting. Denver Nuggets, you know, they figured out, well, Nikola Jokic is pretty damn good, so let's trade Yusuf Nurkic because we don't really need him no more. Then Nikola Jokic stepped up to the scene, and they like, man, he's just been hiding on the bench, and it's kind of funny to think about it though. He was a bull. He was a bull for like this much time. Him and Gary Harris, those were Bulls players. Those are Bulls picks, but we traded them for Doug McDermott. Ooh. Yeah, Doug McDermott. We traded the players for Doug McDermott. Both of these players turned out to be better than Doug McDermott. Fire Garpax. Don't forget, every video, just think about it. Fire Garpax. Terrible trade. Then or now, Jay Crowder, Mavs or the Celtics. Yo, for y'all that don't know, because this was a couple years ago, let me tell you how he went from Dallas to Boston. So Dallas traded for Rajon Rondo. At the time, Rajon Rondo was still pretty good of a PG. Right now, he's all right. I mean, he helped us win 2 out of 6 games against the Celtics before he went out. But back then, he was still like an all-star type point guard. So in order to get rid of, well, when you make trades in the NBA, the salaries have to match. At least you have to have the money to make this trade successful. Dallas threw in Jay Crowder to make the numbers match. They didn't know what they had. Now he goes to Boston. He becomes one of the best two-way players in the league. And I'm not exaggerating on that. He's highly slept on. One of the best contracts in the league because he's barely getting paid. And he can go defend one of your best players and still be pretty effectively on offense. So I guess he went from Dallas like, okay, Mark Cuban and whoever made this trade, y'all gonna regret this. He went to Boston and he balled out and was this close to being an all-star a couple years ago, and now he's in Cleveland. Who knows what he's gonna do on Cleveland? He's gonna be coming off the bench. He's gonna be the leader of that bench unit in Cleveland, which will be pretty dope. But when he went to the Celtics, he became one of their guys. And because of that, we gotta pick the Celtics one. Who knows what he's gonna turn into when he hits the Cavs? You never really know. May his mom rest in peace. He told his mom that he got traded a couple hours before she passed away, man. It hurts my heart. That's crazy things to think about. So I know he's heavy-hearted always. I mean, if you lose a parent, that's something you probably got to think about a lot. Luckily, my parents are still here and I'll still showing me hella love, but I hope his next chapter in Cleveland's a good one where he gets a ring. All right, we're going to wrap it up here with the Allen Iverson. 76er Allen Iverson or Denver Nugget Allen Iverson. 76er Allen Iverson, well, MVP Allen Iverson. Led his team to a finals Allen Iverson. With his second option being Dikembe Mutombo Allen Iverson. With his point guard being Eric Snow Allen Iverson. Obviously, he did not win the championship, but he led his team to the finals when he was like the only option. So obviously, we got to go with him. But that Denver Nuggets team, think about how good that or fun that Denver Nuggets team was. Allen Iverson, J.R. Smith, Carmelo Anthony, I think Kenyon Martin was on that team, and my camera died. And Kenyon Martin and Marcus Camby. Yeah, that team was fun. So I gotta do this fast before this camera dies. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, leave it a like. If you did not see or listen to the podcast from yesterday, please go download it. It means a lot to me. What the heck is that on my neck? It means a lot to me and the homies who helped put it together. Link is in the description. Even if you're on the Android, there's a link that you can listen to it. I know yesterday a lot of people said they couldn't listen to it on Android. You can now. iPhones, obviously, go download, send us a rate, 5 stars. Help us be #1, top 5. Stay. Peace.
Got rich off these instrumentals, then I threw a little notch for the mental. For them niggas trying to catch 'em and it's been slow. Niggas can't really see it like the 10 on new drug. What you been on? Let's get it. Since peep, everything dropped influential. Been a beast, what the fuck I got to pretend for? Take the show footage, shut it down around the world. Went to your event, shit was uneventful. Kirk quarterback, Dick be in the end zone. Promise y'all don't want it. Any doubt in the air shit. Oh well, toss it, bring it down anyway.